With the increasing numbers of COVID-19 cases worldwide and still counting, everyone is hoping that vaccine against COVID-19 becomes available. The race is on a full swing and everyone's inquisitive eyes are eager to find out who will emerge to have the first shot. Magandang araw mga ka-teammates, it's me Team Yong, your neighborhood surgeon, always at your service. By the way, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button for new video uploads. So wherever you are in this whole wide world, there is an ongoing controversy running around regarding COVID-19 vaccine. Many questions are asked, where is that COVID-19 vaccine? Why can't we be vaccinated now? What's taking it so long? Is it safe to get that vaccine now? How is it prepared for vaccination? What are these clinical trials all about? Why are there so many things to do before it can be given to everyone? And then here comes the first in the world to register a vaccine prototype for the masses. But the super fast launch has been in the news for many controversies surrounding its trials and safety tests. Safe ba yan? Wala pang clinical trial yan. Gagawin lang ba tayo na pang-eksperimento? Galing kasi ng China yan, kaya fake. Galing ng Russia yan, kaya ni Rush yan. And the question will go on and on and on. Okay, let's set the record straight. In this video, I will try to explain to you how vaccines are prepared, from the time of conceptualization to the time it reaches everyone for vaccination. So stay with me and I hope I can share a thing or two about how vaccines are being prepared. Did you know that researchers around the world are developing more than 165 vaccines against the coronavirus today, and 31 of which are in human trials? As of this reporting, there are already 2 COVID-19 vaccines that had been approved for early but limited use only. The Chinese company CanSino Biologics developed a vaccine based on an adenovirus called AD5. This is in partnership with the Institute of Biology at the country's Academy of Military Medical Sciences. In May, they published promising results from a phase 1 safety trial. And in July, they reported that their phase 2 trials demonstrated the vaccine produced a strong immune response. In an unprecedented move, the Chinese military approved the vaccine on June 25 for a year as a specially needed drug. On August 9, the Saudi Health Ministry announced that CanSino Biologics would run a phase 3 trial in Saudi Arabia. The company is in negotiations with other countries, including the Philippines, for more trials. The other one is from Gamaleya Research Institute, a part of Russia's Ministry of Health. They launched a phase 1 trial in June of a vaccine they called Gam-COVID Vac-Lyo. It is a combination of 2 adenoviruses, your AD5 and AD26, which are both engineered with coronavirus gene. In July, the Russian parliament announced the country might start vaccine production by the end of the year. On August 11, President Vladimir V. Putin announced that Russian healthcare regulator has approved the vaccine and renamed it Sputnik V. It has been known that Vietnam soon agreed to purchase 50 to 150 million doses. I don't know if the Philippine government will be following soon. But why is that? Out of more than 100 potential vaccines out there, there are only 2 vaccines that were approved for early but limited use. This is because vaccines typically require years of research and testing before reaching the clinic, before reaching you. But at this age of advanced technology, scientists are already racing to produce a safe and effective vaccine in a much shorter period of time. So what are the different steps and processes before it can be approved for mass vaccination? Vaccine development and testing follow a standard sets of steps. Step 1 is the exploratory stage. What happens in this stage? We determine the ongoing problem, which is in this case the COVID-19 disease. We gather studies that describes the disease and the ways and means on how we can fight in terms of using a vaccine. So how long does this stage need to be completed? Well, it depends on the availability or the scarcity of information. Especially COVID-19 is caused by a novel virus, meaning it is very new and has never been before encountered. And 8 months is all we have to know the virus. So after knowing the complexities and the details of the problem, we are now ready to proceed with the next step, which is the preclinical stage. The preclinical stage is the phase which gives researchers an idea of the cellular responses and the toxic effect they might expect in humans. The preclinical stage gives the researchers an idea of the cellular responses and the toxic effect they might expect in humans. So no live humans are involved, but instead, they may use animals as sample. So ito ay ginagawa sa laboratorio at hindi sa buhay na tao. So basically, this stage ay malalaman natin ang safe starting dose at kung paano ibibigay ang vaccine. How long this stage to be completed? Ang stage na ito ay tumatagal base sa pangangailangan na malaman natin lahat ang patungkol sa problema. It may take months to years before it is completed. After completing this stage, we can now proceed to human trials starting at phase 0. Phase 0 clinical trials are the first clinical trials done among humans. So dito, gumagamit na tayo ng aktwal at buhay na tao. In these trials, a very small dose of a drug is given to about only 10 to 15 people. So, konting-konting tao lang ang involved dito. So, they aim to learn how a drug is processed in the body and how it affects the body. So, pag-aaralan natin kung paano ipoproseso ng katawan mo at kung ano yung mga effects niya sa katawan ng tao. Obserbahan natin dito kung paano tinatanggap ng ating katawan ang vaccine at yung epekto ng vaccine pag nabigay na sa tao. Kung batay sa ating obserbasyon ay wala namang masamang epektong nangyari dulot ng vaccine, tutuloy na tayo ngayon sa phase 1. So, gaano katagal ang ginagawa ang phase 0? It takes months to years to complete. The phase 1 clinical trial naman, this involves human participants to around 20 to 100. So, mas marami na siya kaysa sa phase 0. Yung phase 0, hanggang 15 lang ang dapat mong bigyan. Pero phase 1, dinadamihan na natin. So, it involves mga 20 to 100 participants. So, this phase is for testing the safety and the dosage that it can effectively stimulate the immune system. So, it aims to find the best dose with the fewest side effects. The participants in this study are carefully monitored and conditions are carefully controlled. So the time needed to complete is up to several months. So a promising phase 1 trial will progress to the next stage, which is the phase 2 trial. In phase 2 trial, so this phase already involves several hundreds of people. So yung phase 0, 10 to 15, pag phase 1 hanggang 100 yung taong involved, and phase 2, mas marami na siya. It involves hundreds of people. So they will be split into groups such as children and the elderly, the different nationalities or ethnicity, to see if the vaccine acts differently in these different groups. So this trial further tests the vaccine safety and efficacy to stimulate the immune system. Efficiency means if a drug works. Efficient ba talaga siya na magbigay ng tamang level at tagal ng protection laban dito sa virus? So how long to complete it? It may take several months up to 2 years. So after completing this phase, we can now proceed to phase 3 trials. The goal of phase 3 trial is to further assess the vaccine safety and efficacy in a larger group of people. So hindi na lang hundreds yan. It already involves thousands of people. No? Every patient in a phase 3 study is still watched closely and being monitored. And the study will be stopped early if the side effects of the new drug are too severe or if one group has a much better result. So, titigil ka agad yan kung masilipan siya na hindi safe yung vaccine na yan. This phase also further reveals the evidence of relatively rare side effects that might be missed in earlier studies. Certain rare side effects might not surface in a smaller group or subjects that are tested in the earlier phase. So, kung konti pa lang, konti lang din yung nakikitang side effects. So, ginawa natin mas madami para mas makita natin yung mga mas marami pang side effects kung i-apply mo ito sa mas maraming group. So, the time needed to complete this stage is 1 to 4 years. So, once completed, we can now proceed to the approval phase. The approval phase is where regulators in each country review the trial results and decide whether to approve the vaccine or not. The vaccine will be given approval if it has been proven from previous phases of its safety and efficacy, as well as the benefits that outweighs the risk. For your information, during a pandemic, a vaccine may receive an emergency authorization before getting a formal approval. So this is what happens to the Chinese and the Russian vaccines. So after a successful phase 3 trial, the vaccine developer will submit a biologics license application to the Food and Drug Administration. Then the FDA will inspect the factory where the vaccines will be made and approve the labeling of the vaccine. So after licensure, the FDA will continue to monitor the production of the vaccines, including inspecting the facilities and reviewing the manufacturer's test lot numbers for potency, safety, and purity. So once approved, it is now ready for mass vaccination. So ready na yan para sa lahat. So mass vaccination na ang pwede natin gawin. Everyone has given the vaccine. It commences the start of the phase 4 trial. Phase 4 trial is where manufacturers may continue to test the vaccine for safety, efficacy, and other potential uses. So if there will be emerging questions to its safety and efficacy, they will be pulled out from the market and may discontinue its use. In conclusion, together, the clinical trial phases takes 6 to 7 years on the average. So each individual phase takes a different amount of time, with phase 3 trials lasting the longest. But with the advent of the very rapidly advancing technology, maybe it can be done in a shorter period of time. But remember, safety and efficacy is our topmost priority. There is no room for rushing everything unless it is proven by data that the vaccine is safe and effective for general public. So there you go mga ka-teammates. I hope may natutunan kayo with this video. I hope that we can share ourselves by being participant in the study for the sake of our fellow men and the younger generations to come. On the other hand, wag po naman tayong masyadong matakot sa mga maling haka-haka na tayo ay gagawing experimental animal. Totoo naman, pero nakamonitor naman ang ating safety at maaari natin itong ihinto agad kung mapupunta na tayo sa peligro. Pag di tayo kasi tumulong, kailan ito matatapos? Okay, hanggang dito na lang mga ka-teammates and see you again on my next vlog.